Do you ever walk into a traditional bank and just dread the long lines that are coming, or dread the fees that rack up using a traditional bank? I'm currently in the process of building a home. I have 2 kids, and I need to do everything in my power to save money. Current is the future of banking, where you can spend, send, save, and manage all your money from your phone. Current's app and connected debit card helps you get ahead by giving you faster access to paychecks, fewer fees, and more flexibility. With the Current Premium account, members can get paid up to 2 days faster on direct deposits because banks normally hold your money for 48 hours. There's no overdraft fees up to $100, which means no more anxiety about getting declined when you swipe. You can earn points on every swipe, redeemable for cashback rewards, when usually you get nothing for using a debit card. There's easy ways to create saving goals, including ability to round up purchases to save extra change. For a limited time, we've partnered with Current to give away money. That's right. Current is giving away $200 to 10 lucky podcast listeners in the month of November. All you have to do is download the Current app and enter code LOUD, LOUD, during sign up before November 30th for a chance to win. Remember, that's code LOUD during sign up. Download the Current app, sign up in less than 2 minutes, and enter LOUD for a chance to win $200. No purchase is necessary to win. Purchase won't increase your chances of winning. Void where prohibited. Eligibility restrictions applied. Visit current.com/loud for full terms and conditions. Current is a financial technology company, not a bank. Banking services provided by Visa debit card issued by Choice Financial Group. Member FDIC pursuant to a license from Visa USA Incorporated and can be used everywhere. Visa debit cards are accepted. Faster access to funds is based on comparison of traditional banking policies and deposit of paper checks from employers and government agencies versus deposits made electronically. Direct deposits and earlier availability of funds is subject to payer support of the feature and timing of payers' funding. Overdrive is available on only Current Premium accounts. Please refer to Overdrive features, terms, and conditions. Eligibility requirements applied. In the 90s, ads for phone sex lines could be seen everywhere, flickering on the late-night cable channels and printed on the back of magazines. Phone sex operators worked around the clock to fulfill fantasies. What did you guys think about my phone sex voice? I know, I've been inspired over a new podcast called Operator. Wondery and Topic Studios' new podcast, Operator, is the untold story of a company which dominated the phone sex industry until the money blinded them and it all came crashing down. When I tell you, I have been listening in and learning so much about what was going on behind the scenes. So I don't want to tell you too much, but I want to get you guys to listen in to Operator because I am so invested in this story right now. It all started with an idea from Mike Pardes, the CEO and founder of American Telnet, and he proudly coined himself the Telephone Pimp. And he was joined by tech genius and co-founder Michael Self, who is known as the Bill Gates of phone sex. I wonder if he would have liked my phone sex voice. But it was really the women behind the phones who created the close-knit yet dysfunctional family that turned American Telnet into a multi-billion-dollar company and revolutionized the sex industry. As their fortunes grew and their founders were sailing these lavish yachts and having these crazy drug-filled parties, they were burning through the cash by the minute. And guess what? The FBI was watching every move. You guys should follow Operator on Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, or you can listen early and ad-free by subscribing to Wondery Plus in Apple Podcasts or the Wondery app. I love the smells of the season, and thanks to Native's new seasonal scents, my favorites are with me wherever I go. And yes, I'm talking about their deodorant. Native's deodorants are formulated with ingredients that you have actually heard of, like coconut oil and shea butter. And Native deodorant never uses aluminum or sulfates, but it still keeps you smelling amazingly fresh all day long. And when I tell you guys all day, I truly mean it. I work out, I have 2 kids, to the grocery store. I'm doing a million and one things, and I'm still smelling good. With their classic and rotating seasonals, Native has deodorant scent for everyone, including their new holiday-inspired collection, candy cane, sugar cookie, and fresh mistletoe. Native is not just good for you, it's good for the planet. They have a deodorant made of 100% paperboard packaging. They're vegan and they're never tested on animals. I know that I'm not alone in loving Native. They have over 15,000 5-star reviews, and I know you're gonna love them too. Keep the scents of the season with you with Native's limited time holiday scented deodorants. Go to nativedeodorant.com and use code THINK to get 20% off your first purchase at checkout. That's nativedeodorant.com, code THINK for 20% off. nativedeodorant.com, code THINK. You guys are not going to be disappointed in using Native. Not only are you going to be smelling good, but it's good for the planet and it works. And everyone needs a deodorant that works. Welcome to the Think Loud Crew podcast. 3 moms getting real with parenthood, relationships, and the WTF moments of our daily lives. Today, we are going to talk about KyleLynn's birth story.
Whoop, whoop.
This is Cheyenne.
This is Shanan.
And it's me, y'all, our KyleLynn.
Hi, Kyle.
Hey, guys.
For everybody who's listening, in all transparency, it is late. And the kids are in the other room, and we're going to do our best, as always, to get through this we have Parker, Ryder, Boz, Ace, and Sayer here.
Yeah.
And we have Deuce. Deuce is another
Deuce
kid.
freaking counts.
And Zach is lingering around saying, help, help,
Yeah.
help.
Zach keeps coming in here like, so you guys still haven't started? But it's like,
I feel like he just wants to hang out with us, but at the same time, he's like,
he doesn't.
get out of my house.
Because there's so many people.
There's so many people. Earlier when I told him that we were recording here, he was like, and the kids? I'm like, well, where do you want them to go, Zach? Including ours. Like, where do you want them to be? And he was like,
We started off as single moms, bro.
he said,
All
the
of us.
animals are at the zoo. We just cleaned. I'm like, oh my God. He's like the freaking
Did you say
Grinch.
the animals are at the zoo?
No, we're the zoo, and our kids are the animals, basically, including us.
That's what I was trying to...
No, we're also animals. I think he's the zookeeper. Wow. Yeah, that's how he feels about us.
Zach.
Yep. He will never know I'm saying this because he does not listen to our podcast.
Nope.
And he's not listening to us right now.
Nope. So I can continue to talk shit and be in the clear.
Do you need to get this off your chest right now?
Oh, no, I'm fine.
Okay. Uh-oh.
I hear a kid. And a door.
The door.
Oh, gosh.
Why are we all like...
It just sounded like a scary movie.
Dude.
Okay. Why don't we jump right into this?
Let's jump in.
Let's jump in. Let's do it.
I had a baby.
We know.
I'm not pregnant anymore, y'all. It is amazing. I can roll over completely in bed.
How's that going?
It's great.
How's your sleep?
Actually, sleep has been good. Boz has been sleeping in his own bed. Like, Boz basically transitioned himself into his own bed, which is kind of like the most amazing thing that I think any parent could ever dream of. And
I wonder if it's going to be the same for him when he's not in the same room.
I don't know. We'll see.
I think that's going to be the real test.
That'll be the real
it's a
test.
different,
Yes.
whole different vibe.
Right
Yes.
now, he's like in his bed. A whole
I'm like,
different vibe.
girl,
I know.
when you put that wall and that door between y'all, then come tell me how good it's going.
Well, I'm just happy right now just to be able to, spread out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's been nice because sometimes he really likes to drink water before nighttime, and it freaks me out because I'm scared he's gonna have an accident or something. But he'll wake up and he'll be like, Mom, I need to pee. We go to the bathroom and I'll ask him, I said, you want to get in bed with mommy or you want to get back in your bed? And he's like, I'm getting in my bed.
Yeah.
And he'll get back in his bed and he'll be like, can you put my blankets on me? And then he'll go back to sleep. And I'm like, okay, cool. So leading up to giving birth, I was like, okay, this might actually work out. I might actually get some sleep the first week of me learning how to, just transitioning into mom of 2 life.
Right.
So we've been good so far.
How is
Zaire has
new baby
been
sleeping?
He's been really. There's only been 2 nights where I was like, okay, kid, it's just us. But he, thankfully, thank God, whoever invented the snoo.
The snoo was invented by the happiest baby.
Thank you, happiest baby. Thank you for the snoo. I'm like, that right
I had
there.
the snoo when Parker was born.
Girl, I wish I had this
It
new
looks
when
like
Boz
the
was
most
born.
magical thing
I wish I had
ever.
it for Ryder.
Like, Boz
And y'all,
I-
my friend just told me, any new moms out there, you can rent the snoo
Yes.
if you cannot afford it.
Yeah.
You can rent
So-
it.
what I'm doing, because Ace, it's for the first 6 months of the baby's life. So
Uh-huh.
Ace will be 6 months next month, or actually this month. It's November now. So I rented mine
Oh, you did?
until Ace's, 6-month departure of the
It's
snoo.
done.
Yes, and then I'm gonna
Oh.
take theirs because I was like,
That's so smart.
it made sense.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense.
It made
Yeah.
sense.
Why
And
were-
the rental program is really easy. So
It's not as expensive as the
actual snoo.
actual snoo.
Yeah.
And especially because I have a lot of people who hit me up asking, like, is it worth it, like the cost of the snoo, to buy one flat out? And to me, if you plan on having more kids, of course, because then you can just keep reusing it and reusing it. Or if you have someone in your family and you guys can like split the cost and then pass it down to the next one, then it can work out in your favor. But I think if it was just like my only child that I was gonna have, I think I would probably rent it than buying it, just because it's a hefty price tag.
I don't even know how much it is.
It's like a little under $2,000, I think, or like a little over 1,000. Either way, it's $1,000,
$1,000,
$1,000
yeah.
plus for something that you only use for 6 months. Was a price tag that I was like, ooh, that's a little high for me.
Yeah.
And
But
you don't know if your baby's gonna like it or not.
I don't care if your baby likes it.
It's
Put
worth
your
it.
baby in it. Like, it is
It's worth
so worth it. And it comes with like books. It comes with different like inserts. It comes with apps, and
Yeah.
the customer service is really, really good.
Comes with apps?
Yeah.
What are the apps?
I love the app. So, it's really cool. So the app, I can actually control, like, change there's different like settings, like levels
that's
on
cool,
it.
yeah.
So there's like a calm setting, there's a soothing setting, and there's like different levels. There it has like a tracker where it can show you like how long your baby slept. If your baby does cry or like wake up in the middle of the night, Zach is struggling to get our wine at the door, and he's holding Ace. This is great.
He doesn't look entertained.
I'm
Not at all.
entertained.
But he did it. Go, Daddy Zach. It's
It's the bottles.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a really cool app where you can kind of check and start to see what are your baby's sleeping patterns. So for me, that's really important and helps with my sleep, because then now I can adjust my feedings or like my feeding hour to
Depending on
his sleep. So like
Yeah.
it's been helpful in that way. So sleeping with him at night has actually been really chill. No co-sleeping,
and
which
you
I did
should
with Boz.
do naps in the snoo.
Yes.
It helps your baby to adapt into like the snoo more. In all transparency,
sense, yeah.
I did not use the app. I used it maybe for like the first little while, but then to be honest, like life just happens, and
That's what
I wasn't using the app.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like the app because there's times where he cries or I could feel like he's starting to cry, and I'll literally just take it up one level.
Well, you know that it does it automatically.
I know, but sometimes I feel
So that's
like
the other thing.
Oh, it
takes a
doesn't
second.
automatically.
Yeah, it goes
depending on how your child is.
Depending on like if your
Their
child
movement?
starts like moving around, like it will speed up, or if they're crying, like it will speed up.
Ooh.
But it only goes for 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Once
Saying,
it
"Ooh,
starts.
like I'm about to have another kid.
No, if there was like an adult version of a snoo, I would
need an
totally
adult
get in
version.
it.
Yeah. And they're swaddled.
I
It's
need to be
really chill.
swaddled in-
Yeah.
I want to be swaddled and rocked, and when I start
Me
to make
too.
noises, somebody's like, "Oh," and it shushes. It's like,
Yeah.
whoosh, 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 whoosh,
It has
whoosh.
like different sounds
Yeah.
on the app. Also, you can control like the sound,
like the white
volume
noise
sound.
of it. Nah, the snoo is popping. Anybody who's a hater on the snoo, you're just a hater.
I like it. I think it's great because I'm able to also like take showers.
Yeah,
I've been able
and
to shower.
I will say that the biggest like hate that I've gotten from having the snoo was, how are you going to transition him out of the snoo?
There's a whole thing on it.
Yeah, because they're saying like, oh, your baby's going to only be used to like sleeping and moving or sleeping in noises and stuff like that. And I'm going to say we are transitioning Ace out of the snoo right now. And yeah, there's a whole like transition section in the book and on their app, but we just went cold turkey. We just turned that thing off and put him in it, and he puts himself to sleep now.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
That's good.
I'm sure it's probably because he's familiar with like the space. Probably.
no, he started putting himself to sleep on our bed. One day we were
Interesting.
just standing there watching him wiggle around and do some weird stuff, and then I looked at Zach. I'm like, "Is he asleep?" And he's like, "I think he's asleep." And
Aw.
then we realized that he could just put himself to sleep,
That's
where
good.
a Ryder would never do that.
Yeah.
Well, amen.
Yeah,
I'm like, you learn a little bit more with each child that you have, I feel.
yeah, Ryder's
And
still in my bed.
There's all kind of new stuff out now. Like, this was not around, I feel, when Boz was a baby at all. Like,
It was.
oh, well, I just didn't know.
We just didn't
though.
know.
We had no idea.
Yeah, the same way the shusher's been around, didn't know.
Shusher.
Boz loves the shusher. He goes, my brother needs the shusher. He's been actually really
Has he been active?
excited. Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, how's Boz been with the baby?
I was nervous at first just because I'm like, how are you going to act? Are you going to be like, I love my brother. I've been waiting for my brother. But at the same time, like,
Who is this man?
who is this little guy taking my mom's attention? Like, why can't I just, why do I have to share her lap now?
Yeah.
So
Does he?
he's
Is
been
he really loving towards that,
he
or
has
is he
been
okay?
very loving. He kept wanting to touch his head. He knows like
I
babies
thought
have
it was
soft
so
spots.
funny when you first came home.
There's a mosquito. I see a mosquito. It's right. It's
Not Shanan just hitting herself.
It's right. I wish I caught it.
Where?
It's like flying around in this area. No, I was kind of nervous at first just because Boz, like, he was very aware of like the baby's soft spot. And he kept wanting to touch his head.
You did.
And
He
then it
kept
was like-
touching like that. When I
Yeah.
first came home, he was like, "Mom, he smells like French fries."
Oh my
Oh,
god.
yes.
I thought that was the funniest thing. He said he smells.
Boz
He
is so funny.
he smells
You
like
gotta watch
French
him
fries.
though, because when we
do.
brought Ace home, I look over. It was the first time Boz was meeting him, and he was trying to feed him a Dorito.
Yes.
And I said, Boz, what are you doing to my son? And he said, he's hungry. He wants a chip. And I'm like, actually, Boz, I don't think so. And he looked at me like, yes, he does. He told me.
Yeah. That's Boz's line. Well, he told me.
Yeah, he
wants
told
this.
me.
Love Boz. His little
So-
face.
I'm actually,
Bro.
You know what I've really been happy about? Boz has not pressed me about your breastfeeding.
Thank God.
Does he
Yes.
look at you when you breastfeed, Zaire?
Every now and then, like after I'm done, he'll just
He'd be
come
like,
lay
"Those are
his
my
chest on me,
boobies."
and he just
Aw.
goes. He does a. He just.
Oh my
sniffs.
God, not the sniff,
Like,
Boz.
Boz.
He's like, let me smell those real quick.
Yeah.
He's like, what those things doing?
Yeah, because I nursed Boz till he was 26 months. And he just turned like. Shut up, Cheyenne.
You're one of those.
Turned 35. He just turned.
Shannon's one of those too.
Cheyenne.
Wait.
You nursed Ryder until she was 18 months.
Yeah, bro, Boz was walking around here talking about, Mom, I want to suck your boobs now. Give me
No.
the milk. Yes, he
No.
was. Yes, he was. That
I
boy
will
was
say-
way too old to be on the nip. It got to the point where we had to sit Kyle down and tell her to stop nursing him.
First of all, my son was not using the word suck.
Okay, Mom, I want to drink your milk. Give me the milk from your boobs. If he can form complete sentences, there should be no more nursing. I don't know why Shanan is cracking
I'm
up.
laughing because it's
your ass was doing it to Parker.
No, so Parker.
Shannon, how long did you nurse Parker?
So Parker
was 3. Y'all should see Zach's face.
No,
I'm just talking shit.
I right up until Parker was 2, he stopped on himself.
I swear to God, I thought you were about to say right up until Parker was 3.
I slapped myself because y'all, Parker wouldn't stop. I wanted to cry, and I remember I would
I did
always talk to
cry.
my clients like, "How did you stop breastfeeding?" And they're like, "Just." It's a natural thing.
Natural
between-
wean. Yes.
And I'm like, nah. This little boy, he could tell me which boob he wants. I'm done. Like,
See,
he
that's when it's
keeps
time to
telling me-
start.
Yeah, and I was over it. Like, I would put tape on my nipples. So Parker, by the time he got right before he turned 2, he was talking like, Mom, I want the other one. I'm like, nah, but like, I'm done. I wanted my body back.
I'm tired.
So I would have, at nighttime, I would put tape on my nipples. So when he would like cuddle with me and like grab my boob, he'd be like, no.
He was trying to force feed.
Yes. He's like, Mom, take it off. And I'm like, no, little boy, get off my boob.
Yeah.
I want my boobs back.
I know that
So
feeling.
yes, I breastfed till Parker was 2.
Ryder self-weaned, and
It
to
was-
be honest, I probably would have kept going if she didn't want to
Yeah.
stop.
Yeah, so
It was
stop
hard
talking mess.
though.
I know, I'm just talking mess.
I feel like it was really hard on my body. I'm already really little. I was like a skeleton.
Oh yeah, I was when
I was a skeleton
was,
when
too.
Parker was done. It took so breastfeeding, hands down or up to moms that breastfeed.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
No,
it literally drains you,
Yes.
like literally.
And you try to eat as much food as you can, and you just can't.
I think it's like 600 calories in a day that you lose when you breastfeed.
I don't know. All I know, it's very time consuming.
It's a full-time job.
It is a full-time job.
Haven't you seen those things on Instagram where it's like explaining how many hours out of day you nurse if you full-time breastfeed,
Like, who can
and
I
how
send
it's like
this
more than a
invoice to?
full-time job?
Yeah, no, it's hard. And
Messier.
Parker didn't take. What did you say?
Messier.
Yo,
She said, "Who can I send this invoice to?"
here's our co-parenting split nursing fee.
I would say I can take minimum wage. I'll take that fee. I just need you to
Shoot,
pay for
that part.
this. That's really funny.
Man. And Parker didn't take a bottle either.
Yo,
He didn't take
a bottle.
He didn't take a bottle, or he didn't have a pacifier because the
no.
damn nurses at the hospital scared the shit out of me and Robert.
With what?
They literally took the pacifier out of Parker's mouth when he was a baby and said, "Don't do that. It's gonna make him not want to suck on your boob." And I'm like, but it made him stop crying.
It's a soother.
So yeah, they scared me to the point where I never gave Parker a pacifier again.
Did he suck his thumb?
He didn't suck nothing but my fucking tit.
Oh, that's why he used you to self-soothe.
I was his self-soother for 2 freaking years.
Dang, Shanan.
That's different.
So it was a lot.
That's a lot.
Hormones, me going through my depression. It was just a lot for my body and mental. Like, yeah, it was so special because it was our connection. But at moments when it was not, when I was ready to stop.
Yeah. I knew I was ready to stop nursing when this was one time we were in DC and Boz was pulling on my boob, on one boob, and like Messier was holding the other, like as we were asleep. Like he would cup it. And I was literally...
He was cupping
I'm
it.
trying to picture this, and it's getting very awkward for me.
I feel weird sharing this, but I'm laying in the middle.
Wait, he was cupping it for like a sexual thing?
No,
Yes.
like it was like his... No.
So you were self-soothing both.
Basically.
Okay, let's take a break. On that note, let's take a break. I need some wine.
Okay.
In the 90s, ads for phone sex lines could be seen everywhere, flickering on the late night cable channels and printed on the back of magazines. Did you guys like that? I was really trying to do my phone sex operator's voice. How was it? Phone sex operators worked around the clock to fulfill fantasies. It all started with an idea from Mike Pardes, the CEO and founder of American Telnet, who proudly coined himself the Telephone Pimp. And he was joined by tech genius and co-founder Michael Self, who's known as the Bill Gates of phone sex. You guys, there's a new podcast out called Operator. Wondery and Topic Studios' new podcast Operator is the untold story of a company which dominated the phone sex industry until money blinded them and it all came crashing down. It's been exhilarating to learn about the business and the women behind the phones who created the close-knit yet dysfunctional family that turned American Telnet into a multi-billion-dollar company and revolutionized the sex industry. As fortunes grew, the founders were sailing lavish yachts, fueling wild drug parties, and burning through the cash by the minute, and the FBI was watching their every move. I have thoroughly enjoyed listening in to Operator and learning about what was going on behind the scenes. Follow Operator on Apple Podcasts Amazon Music, or you can listen early and ad-free by subscribing to Wondery Plus in Apple Podcasts or the Wondery app. I love the smells of the season. Thanks to Native's new seasonal scents, my favorites are with me wherever I go. And yes, I'm talking about their deodorant. Native deodorant is formulated with ingredients you've actually heard of, like coconut oil and shea butter. Native deodorant never uses aluminum or sulfates, but still keeps you smelling amazingly fresh all day. With their classics and rotating seasonals, Native has deodorant scents for everyone, including their new holiday-inspired collection, Candy Cane, Sugar Cookie, and Fresh Mistletoe. When I tell you guys, they smell so good. Native is not just looking good for you, but it's good for the planet. They have a deodorant made of 100% paper board packaging. They're vegan and they never test on animals. I'm not alone in loving Native. They have over 15,000 5-star reviews, and I know you're gonna love them too. One thing that I always look forward to during the holidays is how good my house is going to smell, how good the cookies are going to smell in the oven. And I'm so excited that finally I found a deodorant that not only works, and when I tell you works, guys, I use this when I work out. I use this throughout the day, and it has me walking around smelling like the holidays. I am in love. You're not going to be disappointed with not only how good they smell, how good they are for the environment, but also that they really work. Keep the scents of the season with you with Native's limited time holiday scented deodorant. Go to nativedeodorant.com and use code THINK to get 20% off of your first purchase at checkout. That's nativedeodorant.com, code THINK for 20% off. Nativedeodorant.com, code THINK. Do you guys ever dread walking into a traditional bank? You're just waiting to see those long lines. That's me. Between the long lines and so many fees, I was looking for a new way to bank. Current is the future of banking, where you can send, spend, save, and manage your money all from your phone. All you have to do is get on Current's app, and connected debit card helps you get ahead by giving you faster access to paychecks, fewer fees, and more flexibility. With the Current Premium account, members can get paid up to 2 days faster with direct deposits because banks normally hold your money for 48 hours. Also, no overdraft fees up to $100, which means no more anxiety about getting declined when you swipe. I've been there. There's also other benefits like earning points every time you swipe, redeemable for cashback rewards, which you normally get nothing on a debit card. Easy ways to create saving goals, which I need right now, including ability to round up on purchases to save extra change. For a limited time, we've partnered with Current to give away money. That's right. Current is giving away $200 to 10 lucky podcast listeners in the month of November. All you have to do is download the Current app and enter code LOUD, LOUD, during sign up before November 30th for a chance to win. Remember, that's code LOUD during sign up. Download the Current app, sign up in less than 2 minutes, and enter LOUD for a chance to win $200. No purchase is necessary to win. Purchase won't increase your chances of winning. Void where prohibited. Eligibility restrictions applied. Visit current.com/loud for full terms and conditions. Current is a financial technology company, not a bank. Banking services provided by Visa, debit card, issued by Choice Financial Group. Member FDIC pursuant to a license from Visa USA Incorporated and can be used everywhere. Visa debit cards are accepted. Faster access to funds is based on comparison of traditional banking policies and deposit of paper checks from employers and government agencies versus deposits made electronically. Direct deposits and earlier availability of funds is subject to payer support of the feature and timing of payers' funding. Overdrive is available on only Current Premium accounts. Please refer to Overdrive features, terms, and conditions. Eligibility requirements applied.
And now we're back. So we don't need to talk more about what we were just talking about. But just know that I used African pepper to stop nursing, y'all.
African pepper.
And that
like I actually
Messier used her boob to self-soothe. don't think we were going to let you get away from that. But the whole purpose of this podcast episode was to talk about your birth story. So let's get into it.
How did it go?
Start from the beginning.
So, to
Day and time.
okay.
Consummation. What's that word? Consummation? Consummation?
Yeah, I thought you were saying constipation.
No, I'm not constipated. I've been taking power cleansing pills. But anyway,
stand you.
Good to know.
let's just talk about your birth.
Wow. So when I was like 35 weeks, I went to the doctor and told me I was measuring 4 weeks ahead. And in my mind, I was like, ooh, that's a big baby. So we planned a date to be induced. I also thought that would help so that Messier, it would give him the opportunity so that he could be here for the birth, because he really wanted to be included in the birth and see his son being born. So planned a date. It was October 28th. Fast forwarding to October 28th, the day of me being induced. Messier, Cheyenne, and I went to the hospital at like 2 in the morning. I think our appointment was 2 in the morning, 2 a.m. And so we got there. They didn't get us into a room till like 3. We were so annoyed.
Because we were tired.
We were exhausted. Yeah.
I was a little tipsy, can't lie.
Oh, yeah.
We did something that night.
Yeah, we had family over. We celebrated. Mm-hmm. We all prayed. We ate.
I love that.
They drank.
I was like nervous drinking.
Yeah. And Messier's not a big drinker. He was drinking too.
He was drinking?
Oh yeah. Everybody was taking shots.
Yeah.
Everyone was losing it.
Everyone was like, "Oh yeah, baby." It was actually really nice. And so we get to the hospital. They finally get us in a room. And then it just like the process started. So they like checked me, everything. They hooked me up with all the IVs and everything.
Around what time was this when you finally got a room?
It was like 3. And I would say by 4:00, my contractions were starting.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
So you had a really.
They gave me Pitocin, and I was already.
Cheyenne, did you sleep
During what? Oh, her?
Yeah.
I would say it was like the first realm of sleeping, where it's like you sleep, but it's like as soon as someone walks in, it's like hello.
Yeah, because there was a lot of people coming in and out. Like
they check you every like.
They checked me a lot.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So your contractions started.
Okay, hold on.
3.
Before I even do that, they did. So they COVID tested me. Mm-hmm. And it was the first time that I've gotten the brain, what the people call the brain tickler. Oh my gosh. So we get tested regularly for filming. And I was like, oh, I get tested all the time. It's not an issue. And they were like, this one's different.
I told you.
Y'all, it was all the way up there. I felt like we were back in like Egyptian times where they were going to take my brain out of my nose or something. Like
I tried to warn you. You were like, meh. I'm like, no, it hurts. Like,
yeah, it was really pleasant. Uncomfortable. I was like, where did that go?
Right.
Like, what did y'all just get out of there? So yeah, that happened. But hooked me up to Pitocin, and I didn't get an epidural till maybe like 7:30 in the morning. Mm-hmm. But leading up to that, there was a point in time where like my contractions, like they were getting closer and closer, and there was a point they were like 2 minutes apart, and like I could feel them, and I was like 4.5 centimeters dilated. And I was just literally just breathing through them. So the night before we went to the hospital, like 8 or 9 o'clock that night, leading up to us going to the hospital, I had this woman come to the house, and she did like a reflexology, like a mommy reflexology massage on my feet to help induce labor. So it was like all these like pressure points and like basically like acupressure, and it was really cool. It felt really good. And so I did that. So I was like really relaxed, and I was really happy to have her come, because she just reminded me, like, when you're going through your contractions, make sure that your exhale is longer than your inhale, because if it's the other way around, then she's like, you're hyperventilating.
Your exhale is longer than your inhale.
Yeah. So, breathe in for 3, like out for 5.
Just breathing it all out.
Yeah. And so that really stuck with me. And when I was pregnant with Boz, I did like prenatal yoga, and like the breathing was such like an important like mental factor. And so for anyone, like I've had a few people ask me like, how did you get through the contractions? Literally just through breathing. To the point where Cheyenne looked at me at one point and was like, you do know you're getting an epidural. Like you don't have to, you don't have to keep doing this. But at the same time, like I literally, if it made me feel like if I had just kept going with my breathing, I feel like I could have done it without the drugs. Like,
did you want to do it without? Is that why you were breathing through it?
In all honesty, I would love to have a vaginal birth with no drugs. But I want to do that like with a partner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to do the whole water birthing with a partner?
Not necessarily. I like going to the hospital. Like everyone always makes me feel like everyone's always like, oh, you just seem like the kind of person to have a water birth. I'm not discounting water births, but it's like to me, like
the contractions, I feel like until you get to the ring of fire, I feel like they are breathable.
Yeah.
But when that fire burn starts, then I think that's when it becomes like a, okay, I feel like I'm actually going to die.
Right. Yeah. You want that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think for me, being like her support person and knowing that her birth plan is eventually to get an epidural, when I look back at my birth with Ryder, I would never have put my body through that much like trauma if in the end I was just getting an epidural. You know what I mean?
Got it.
Like you don't have to be in.
So you went through.
Cheyenne had a very long labor with Ryder.
I epidural.
I labored with Ryder for at least 16 hours without anything. Yeah. I wanted to go all the way, but then when that fire starts and
Cheyenne's body,
my body started to shut down.
Much.
Yeah.
Damn.
But my best friend Nadia, she had sent me this verse from the Quran, and this was back when I had Ryder, and she said that birth is the closest that you can get to death. Yeah. And I swear when my body started to like literally shake and do all these weird things, I'm like, oh fuck this, I'm dying. Give me an epidural.
Like nah.
So knowing that Kyle's plan eventually was to get an epidural. Now if she did not want one and she voiced that she didn't want one, of course I would have been like, all right, we're gonna do this.
It,
yeah. Right. But knowing that she was getting one, I was waking up like, girl, if you don't get the tap, get it now.
Tap in.
Yeah, because then it's like
they were getting closer together.
She just looked like she was like
yeah, I was really like when I say I was like really breathing through it. Like there were points in time where Messier would like, well, first of all, Messier, he was really cute. He was really nervous.
He was scared.
He was, I think he was honestly terrified. Like I was more calm than him. You were. I definitely was.
I'm gonna send some screen grabs that I actually have that I put into my YouTube blog. Of Messier and
his facial expressions are really funny.
Yeah, I heard you took a lot of good photos of him.
Bro, he doesn't listen to our podcast either, so I can talk shit.
Oh yeah.
When I tell you, this man looked like he was going to shit something out of him. He was like wide eye. I thought he was gonna pass out.
Really?
It was to the point where I'm like, okay,
you have to check on him too.
Go.
Oh no.
Yeah.
It was like I'm breathing it out, and he every now and then he'd wake up and be like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?"
Aww.
And I'd be like, "I'm okay," and then he'd be like.
His out was that he was hungry.
Oh yeah, he would go to the cafeteria.
A lot of time in the
wasn't hungry. You know that man was not hungry. I don't know. No
that man is always hungry.
No, he literally when I was there, he probably went to the cafeteria at least 6 times.
Probably to breathe.
Yeah,
he was scared.
You know,
because I don't feel like any man eats during a pregnancy.
During the labor?
During the labor. I mean,
girl, Zach was fucking up wings, burritos, burgers when I was in labor.
I guess Robert didn't.
I was hot.
Robert didn't eat shit.
Really?
Yes, he kept saying, "You wanna? I'm about to go to In-N-Out." I'm like, okay.
Have fun.
I didn't eat nothing.
No.
Oh, Messier thought Cheyenne and I were weird as shit because we were so hyped over the hospital ice. We were like, "Could we get some hospital ice, please?" And he was like, "So y'all just chew the ice?"
Yeah. He kept asking me, "Are you not going to eat?" And I'm like, "I'm going to wait for her to have the baby because she can't eat right now."
Right.
And it's just like a mental thing for me. Like, if you're going to go through this, I'm going to go through this with you. And he's like, "You're tripping, bro. The cafeteria is popping." Zach told me the cafeteria was popping. I thought he was joking, but the cafeteria was popping. I'm like,
Zach's over here shaking his head.
Mez was like, "Bro, they got stations down there."
Yeah,
What'd you say, Zach? No, I didn't
You
eat.
said suffer with you.
I did not eat until
The next
she
day.
had food the next day.
I love that.
It was actually
Sisterhood.
it was very special to have my sister with me as my support partner and the kid's dad. You know,
The kid's dead.
Messier. It was nice. It was actually really nice to have.
Bro,
him
he got
there.
blonde hair.
Oh, he does have blonde hairs.
Like his mommy is golden,
Shut up,
like
Shy.
you.
You sure that's his daddy?
Yeah. It's like, I ain't had sex with nobody else in a few years.
I
y'all.
just said, Kai, you sure that's his daddy? Look at her face.
The plot thickens.
Not
I'm just
really.
kidding. I'm just kidding.
That comes from our side.
I was just say Kyle's a real golden little baby over there.
My hair turns blonde on my arms.
You're golden too, Cheyenne.
Duh. Anyways, I finally got the epidural. Messier was in the cafeteria when it happened. Cheyenne was in there because they could only have. So first of all, I could only have 2 people in the room due to COVID. When they give you the epidural, you can only have 1 person in the room. I'm not sure why.
I couldn't have anybody in the room.
Like that.
I know. But I'm saying like I'm not sure what the reason is.
Of they say like sanitation and like letting in the germs or something.
Because
it's interesting.
It's because it's such a big needle.
I don't know. I'm not sure. So Cheyenne was in there when I got the epidural. I had very nice, like all the nurses, all like the anesthesiologists, everyone was really nice,
That's
very
good.
like comforting, reassuring, which was great. There was another woman who was there for Ace's birth, who remembered Cheyenne.
cool.
I remembered her. So
it was like 3 nurses.
yeah, it was really nice to see like familiar faces in a place, you know, when you're like feeling vulnerable and you're just like going through something like this. So shout out to Cedars. We like it over there.
Made it comfortable for y'all.
Yeah.
They definitely
They really
made it a pleasant experience.
Yeah, they're super accommodating.
Yeah.
Like even to the side hoes. me and Mez are like the side hoes.
I was like,
Yeah.
okay.
They're like,
side hoes?
you know, do you want a blanket and all this stuff like that? Really accommodating.
There were so many blankets and pillows that were brought in.
Back to the epidural though.
Back to the epidural. So with Boz, I got a walking epidural. I didn't know there was 2 types of epidurals until I was giving birth. So the walking epidural, like you can still get up and go to the bathroom. They don't give you a catheter. That's that. Then there's like the standard epidural where you
can't feel shit.
You can't feel shit. You can't walk. They give you a catheter. And so Cheyenne was like, shit, girl, if you gonna do it, do it. Like, so I was like, okay, let me try this standard epidural this time, just because I was like, it's late. I want to go to sleep. Like, I'm gonna pee in a bag. Like, fuck it, we're here. So I did that. And y'all, I did not like this epidural this time at all. For the pain, it was great, but my left leg, I could still move around. I could still wiggle my toes. That wasn't the problem. My right leg was dead. I felt like Uma Thurman and Kill Bill in the back of that car trying to move my toes.
Oh my God, she kept saying that to the nurses and they would just look at her and I'm like, Kyle, stop using that reference. They don't get it.
Guys, it was terrible. Like literally my leg could have fallen off the bed, broke, got sliced open, and I would have never known unless I visually saw it. Like that's how dead numb it was. And it made me feel very uncomfortable to the point where it was like I had no control over my body.
Did you feel really itchy coming off of it?
Yeah, my right leg.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
That's
itchy.
that's how when I got mine, that's how I felt.
Yeah. And it was funny because at first they were like, I guess I was on my left side. So they were like, oh, make sure you rotate to your right so that it doesn't all go to your left side. But I think, you know, the needle was a little already kind of to the right a little bit. So that was like my only issue, I would say, during birth, was the epidural and my dead right leg. But other than that, I labored for like 9 hours, and the baby came out in 4 pushes. They came and checked me that like around maybe like noon, and at that time I was probably like 8 or 9 centimeters dilated, and the midwife said that my water was taut. She said,
Was taut.
yeah, she said, oh, your water is taut. And I was like,
I thought she said hot. And I was like, ooh, cool.
yeah, she said it was taut and that it might break. It could break. Or they would like...
Bro, did you see what they used to break your water?
So they kept talking about like this hook.
It looked like a hook.
I saw these things that look like
chopsticks.
Chopsticks.
But the ends of the chopsticks had a curve.
Oh, I didn't see that part.
I did.
She said, bro,
I was on the other end and I was looking at everything. And Mez would stay up by KyleLynn's head. It was like he was scared to look.
So scared to look.
But he would look at me to look and then ask me, how was it? And I'm like, bro, you're right here. Like you
were
can do
his
this.
eyes.
He probably saw the sticks and was like, oh,
he saw the sticks when they came out and they had a little extra something that they, you know, they were clean when they went in, but when they came out, they weren't as clean. And he was like, ugh. But everything with him was such a like, I wish I had just something to film him all day because his reactions were like memes constantly.
They're funny.
They were so funny. Even when KyleLynn finally said, all right, let's get that epidural. So he knew that you can only have one person in there. And I swear to God, he timed it so that he was not that one person in there.
I'm running.
He was like, I'm going to go to the cafeteria and y'all let me know if you want something.
Yeah.
So then when the anesthesiologist came,
he was calling Cheyenne, talking about, you want anything?
He's like, you want anything? I'm like, no, but they're about to do the epidural. So if you stay down there, like, I wasn't trying to be rude and overstep, you know, and I didn't want to say something, and then he comes back up and they're like, oh, you can't go back in. And then him be like, well, why didn't you tell me? Right. So I called him and I'm like, hey, like, they're talking about doing the epidural within the next 10 minutes. When they started, like, if you're not in here, then they're not going to let you in. But if you want me to sit in here while they do it, no problem. But just eat your food downstairs. He was like, you know, they got a lot of options down here, a lot of stations. So I'm just, and he started stuttering. I'm like, you're just gonna eat down there. It's all right. Like, it's not a big deal.
I'm happy.
It's all right. You're fine.
I'm actually really happy with Cheyenne and Messier because Cheyenne knows how to like deal with people. I would say,
yeah.
or like,
I know how to not be like rude, but accommodating, but still make you feel like you made the decision yourself.
Yep.
Yes.
There you go.
Literally.
Yeah. So that made me feel good. And like, I want my sister and my children's father to have a good relationship. So Cheyenne's good with that. So it made me happy. But yeah, the hooks came out, which was different because my experience with Boz, while I was like in labor at the hospital, my whole water sac came out intact, which was weird.
Yeah, I feel like you told us that story on here before.
I don't know.
I think you did.
Yeah,
I think so. Or maybe we just know it.
Y'all just know
it.
Yeah. So after the water broke, the doctor came in. She put all her stuff on. Messier was sad because he wanted all the scrubs on.
Oh my God! Yeah, he was hot.
He was like, I don't get anything, and I was like, no, I'm so sorry.
He's watched too many movies.
No, somebody in his family just had a baby, so he pulls up this picture and he shows me
his cousin.
Yes, but they had a C-section. I'm like, May, you don't get that outfit, and he's like, I thought I was gonna be able to take a pic like this.
No.
I'm like, no.
Definitely, when you have a C-section, you have to get all geared up.
Yeah, I was like, I'm sorry. I'm not having a cesarean.
He wanted to get
He was disturbed that he couldn't get anything. Yeah,
he was like, can I at least get some shoes? Like, she had the boots on. Like,
I can't with him.
The scrubs over her shoes.
Did you see when he started to take his bracelets off?
No.
Yeah, it's when Dr. Walden said like, okay, so basically Dr. Walden is super down to earth.
She's such a chill OB. Like,
yes, but she knows the backstory of both of our situations.
Yes.
And
she knows. She's heard all the tea.
She's heard all the tea. And I'm not going to lie, she came in ready to put him to work. She was like, oh, you're here? Oh, we're going to work. You're going to,
I told her about my leg.
You're going to play a role.
She said, oh, that dead right leg?
Oh, that's his.
That's yours, Mr. Man.
Yeah.
Hold that leg.
She literally did not play with Meg. She was like, she didn't give him the option to. She told him, put your phone in your pocket and hold the leg. And I was like, ooh.
I was like, ooh, yeah, Dr.
Get him.
Walden, tell him.
Get him. Because at one point, didn't he drop the leg? It was off the table or something.
No. What happened was before we like really went and like started pushing, she came in. She said, "Let's do a practice push or something."
Yeah, she said a practice round.
Yeah,
And you dropped your leg,
and it was just me, Kyle, Mez, and her.
There were no nurses in there. It was like nothing there. It was just us. And he was holding my leg. Everything was fine. I pushed, and she was like, "Oh yeah, it's time." And then when he was like putting my leg down, he like halfway put it down, but then like let it go, forgetting that it was dead. And I was like, my leg.
The leg was off the table, but he had pulled his phone out, and she not snapped at him, but was like, "Put it away." I felt like we were in school.
Yeah.
Put it away and pick the leg. I'm like, pick the leg up. Where'd it go?
Where did it go?
And Kyle's like,
"Where's my leg?"
it's on the floor.
My leg.
I'm not gonna lie, I had hella fun that day.
It was actually a really fun delivery.
sounds like
I'm not
a
gonna
fun
lie.
day.
I thought it was fun. I was very hungover, but
Yeah.
I might have still been drunk. I don't know.
That's why it was so fun.
It was
But
fun.
it was fun.
It was
I keep
light.
looking at you like, didn't you have fun?
And then it was like, once it came, so this is the kicker. So my mom is freaking out because she's not in there. So she's texting every 2 seconds. That's the only reason why I even know what time stuff happened, because my mom was like, "What's
mom was
going on?"
texting.
Yeah. Cheyenne was giving her phone updates, text updates. Boz was at home with my parents, and it was, before we left, it was kind of sad just because I'm like, oh, my baby boy is like no longer going to be my baby boy, like in that sense. Like now there's going to be two of you. Like you're going to be a big brother.
Did you cry?
I'm not going to lie. I did have a few tears. Like
I sobbed.
I know. I was looking at Cheyenne
was a
post
sobber.
today.
Oh, I ugly
post
cried.
today, and I was like, I
didn't-
wonder if
I didn't ugly cry to Boz.
Kyle cried.
Think about it,
did.
Shannon.
Oh, I would be sobbing.
And knowing that when you come back to Parker, you're bringing him somebody else.
home, a whole other person. And it was like,
That's a lot.
Boz was like, so like he was using the bathroom and we were like talking. He was like, "So you're going to the doctor?" And I was like, "Yeah, Bozzy, mommy's going to the doctor. When I come home, like I'm gonna have your little brother and all this stuff." He's like, "They're gonna take my brother out your tummy?" And I was like, "Yeah, like, mommy and daddy are gonna go get your brother and we're gonna bring him home and you're gonna be a big brother." And at first he was like, "Oh, that's funny." Like that's been his line
I feel
lately.
like that was his word
funny.
once Zaire came home.
Everything's
He's
been
funny.
That's funny.
He's funny.
So so that happened. We went to sleep in the bedroom for a little bit. He slept in his bed, and I was, I really wanted to wake him up when we were leaving, just so it was like he didn't wake up and it was like, where did my mom and my dad go? But my mom was like, let him sleep.
Let him do his.
Y'all, when he woke up in the middle of the night and mommy and daddy weren't there, my mom said he had a freak out.
Aww.
He said he went to sleep in heaven and woke up in hell.
Yeah,
Poor
she said he
buddy.
woke up and chose violence.
Yes. So it was emotional from the standpoint of like, wow, like I'm really about to be a mother of two. And it was like, I made it through this pregnancy. Like I felt healthy. I felt, clear-minded. I felt that God had really just covered me in all senses and all things that just during this journey. And I wanted to start off as like on a different page. Mezier wanted to, he wanted to be involved. And at first I was kind of like
totally different.
Yeah, it was different. And I had my moments where I was like, I'm not going to let him in there. Like, what the hell? But, I prayed on it. And then Cheyenne said some very profound words to me one day. And I was like, thank you, sis, for giving me like the, that last little
Reassurance.
That you needed to hear.
And it wasn't about me. It's, it's about our kids.
Yeah.
So I'm happy that he was there. But when it came down to actually me giving birth, we made a Zoom link for our parents.
Oh my God.
I think we sent the link out to like 4 people on our side.
Okay.
Mezier,
Mom had the link.
Yeah, dad
had the link.
I sent it to our grandparents, I think.
Zach had the link.
Mimi was on there.
And our grandparents had it.
Yeah, our grandparents.
But Dad and Zach were together, so it was like a combined link for them.
And like my mom,
wasn't too many.
Dave, and Nana were
Wait
together.
till you hear.
Oh, I know.
Wait until you hear who Messier sent the link to.
Messier sent it to everybody, right?
Sent it to like
Bro, we
his
had
entire family.
Cousins in Paris watching.
There was family in London. Like
I heard different kind of accents. I said, "What is this? What is going
Cheyenne
on?"
was like, "What's really good,
What's happening?
y'all?" Okay, you know how like
Worldwide
you'll be
delivery.
on Zoom and you could see the list. Like it was like Cheyenne had to scroll. Like
I literally said, Mez, what is this? And he said, I sent it to everybody. And I'm like, no, this was for like, in my
Just your
head,
mom.
I'm thinking like,
Your mom,
your brother.
Like, is there a grandma? Like,
No,
you know, like I'm thinking like, this is like your
he said-
intimate, this is a close thing.
But you know what?
Bro, we had cousins on there.
Yeah.
We had extended cousins. We had friends.
Did they know
we
what
had
they were-
girlfriends. Randoms. Just randoms.
Yeah.
Did they understand what they were?
Oh no. They knew they were about to watch this birth.
Bro, somebody had popcorn on a couch.
Shut up.
I swear to God, I swear to God.
I'm done with you.
I think it was the French people. They had snacks.
No, they're in the UK.
Okay? There were snacks involved. I'm like,
Not snacks.
they done pulled up to the movie.
Y'all, different time zones. Like it
So
was.
people are probably watching at nighttime.
But
like,
no, it's
ooh,
funny.
Girl.
He kept saying like, "Where's the link?" And I never really thought about it
Why
that
didn't
hard.
click to you? Like,
No,
you're
I thought
like,
he was going to send it to his mom and his brother.
Like, here, your mom.
Y'all,
When I saw that he sent it to the whole damn world,
all these people started popping up.
there
And
was how many people on there?
there had to be like no exaggeration, like 15 to 20 people just from him.
I would have shut the computer down. Down. It's
At that
going
point-
down.
at that point-
you couldn't even do anything.
No, at that point I was like, oh, he's really excited. Like he may not show emotion in the
but
way that
that's-
I am
that you
accustomed
want him to, yeah.
or like
But that was him
that was
showing
him
you.
like showing how
I'm about to have a
excited
baby
he
boy.
is.
All y'all about to watch.
He felt very proud.
I disagree.
And like,
Oh no, I agree with that. I agree.
Oh, you disagree with?
I
You
watched
would've-
you and I kept on waiting for you to signal like it's a no-go.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, she's really picking and choosing her battles right now.
Oh, picking and choosing. I felt like God was like, here's all the power you need within you right now, sis, to like
Overcome this situation.
overcome. And at the same
I would have
time,
picked the battle.
What?
I would have battled.
Get off. Turn.
It was
Everybody
too many
get off.
people.
Oh.
It was too many people in my head.
Did
that,
you mind
that
that
you
there were
don't
too many
like?
people?
What's that one cousin? He has one cousin that he just kept talking. I'm like, what are we
John.
talking about?
But I like John. So it's like he has his cousin in London who like, you know,
feel like-
when I'm around, like there are
Yeah.
conversations. Like he interacts on social media. So it's not like complete
So it
strangers.
wasn't weird.
But there were a lot of people on there where I'm like, I
you feel
personally don't know
uncomfortable?
how to pronounce these names correctly. I don't want to be insulting and butcher any names. So it's like, I didn't know. And at the same time, I was like, look, I'm already spread eagle out on this table. I'm
No,
not
but
about to sit
I
here.
angled it so
Yeah, that was
they
my
just
only
had
thing.
like a head and like
I kept saying, Cheyenne, what do they see?
they didn't see. Honestly, they didn't see anything. To be honest,
They said they saw the head come out.
no, they didn't because I was
Like
standing
from the
there.
angle.
They saw your head.
Okay.
Because
saw
I
your
stood-
head coming out.
In the
Just
first
kidding.
angle, they would have saw his head, but then Dr. Walton started yelling at me
Oh, to come in
to
or
come
something?
in and hold the other leg, the half dead leg.
Yeah.
And then I turned around and I
The leg I
realized
can move.
that my back kind of blocked
Got it.
Oh,
computer. Yeah.
Yes.
But at that point, I couldn't turn around and fix it. Like
At
the
that
baby
point-
was coming.
The baby was coming, and you know, it is what it is. Birth is a beautiful thing. Yes,
Did
is
we
it
record it?
personal? I think so. I think
It
we
might be on your computer.
Yeah, I have to
Oh, I
go
wanna
back and
watch.
look.
Or it might be on my
It's
computer.
on your computer.
I wanna
Yeah.
watch.
But to be
Movie
honest,
time.
it didn't. At first, I was a little nervous just because I was like, I just didn't know what was going to be shown. And
I wasn't gonna let him see your coochie.
thanks, sis. Thanks for having my
It was a whole lot of coochie.
a whole lot of coochie, y'all.
Mez just kept looking like when she was pushing.
He was like, had his hands on his hips, sweating.
I thought he was gonna pass out. If I had to bet, it was that he was going down.
That's funny.
But he didn't go down.
He didn't. Yeah, he did good in the end. Yeah. Baby came out. They gave him to me. He was so long. He just looked so long. His arms were long. His legs were long. He was covered in the vernix, and it just made me feel so happy. And it was like Cheyenne said, it was a very quiet. Like I just pushed. She was like, there was no sound.
Yeah, from either one of them, like a poop. Like he didn't make noise either, really.
At first,
the baby?
The baby, and then they did they suctioned him, and then he was like, meh. But it was so chill. They put him on my chest, and I just held him, and like literally like 15 minutes after I gave birth, he was looking for the boob. He was like squirming around,
literally glowing.
He was lifting his head up. It was like, chill out, you little 5-minute-old kid. Like,
they do say,
calm down.
These COVID babies are different.
They are. He was Mezzi was very excited to do his tummy time.
Or
his tummy time. Skin to skin. I turned around. This man had his shirt off.
He was ready.
He was like,
I have the video.
Come on. Give me.
I videotaped from the shirt on to watch the shirt come off to see the excitement, and he was.
And then it was like, how do I hold this baby?
Oh yeah. Then I had to put the phone down to help him. He was like, I just don't. I'm like, Mez.
He's like, he's just so little. Yeah, he was really excited. Oh, he was so excited, y'all.
So how was it like? So I was there the first day. I let them get into the recovery room, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna get you guys settled and gotta go. Not gotta go, but I wanted to give them time to bond and
have our space.
Right, and have your space, and Mez to feel like, you know,
I'm here.
Right. Like if I'm not there, he has to step up and care for not only the baby, but for Kyle because she's in recovery.
Yeah.
So you had that day, and then a few days afterwards, not a few days, but
so I was at that.
Like, how has it been like recovering?
Okay, one thing that is different, they get you in and out the hospital.
Yeah, I was surprised.
I was there on Thursday. I was out by Friday at 6 p.m. Like I got home at like 6 p.m. on Friday.
Yeah,
but it would have been longer if you did his circumcision there.
Yeah, so they didn't. The doctor that I really want, Dr. Friedman, who's a great urologist, he was all booked up for the day. So we weren't able to do circumcision the day of. So they got us in and out, which is crazy because I remember before they were like, they wouldn't let me leave until I pooped.
Right.
And I had
or like fart or whatever.
Or something. And I was like, and I kept thinking, no one asked me if I pooped. Like,
I remember you saying that you finally did your poop at home, and Mez was like,
I pooped at home, and then Mezzier, he didn't, like, he knew I was in the bathroom, but he was trying to, like, I don't know if he was trying to get something or give me something, but he opened the door, and I was sitting there, and I was like a deer in headlights, and, like, the air, like, swooshed out.
Are you using stool? Did you use stool softeners?
They gave me stool softeners at the hospital, but, like, I poop. Like, my bowel movements.
It's not about, stool softeners don't help you poop. They just make your poop soft. So it's less of a push.
Well, I didn't have to push. It just like.
It's more of a glide.
It came out. I think it was ready to come out.
So you were healthy.
Yeah. Even like
you were healthy.
Even like my water intake. You know how like they'll measure like your pee afterwards?
Yeah.
Like every time I peed in there, it would like overflow.
Oh my God. Mine did that with Ace and it got on the lady and I felt so bad. I was like, you should move your hand. And she's like, I'm like, all right. Okay, it's happening.
Oh, that was the one thing at the hospital that kind of freaked Mezzy out because I did pee at one point. And the nurse, like what's it called? Not a chunk. A blood clot. Came out. And it was like a big one. And the lady left it in there. I thought she had flushed it because she was like, I'll take care of this. And then Mezzier went in there and he was like, what he was like, what do I do with this? I was like, just dump it out. He was like, I gotta touch it. Like,
oh my God, no, the best thing was when we put KyleLynn on the recovery bed, but she had to transfer from like the bed that they wheel her into to the recovery room. So she's scooting over, and when she scoots, you know, the giant pad, not like
it's like a giant
pee-pee pad that like we use for Deuce.
And
like,
they give you this mesh diaper.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so she's scooting, but she scoots to the next bed, and this is literally like what, an hour after you had the baby.
Not even.
Not even. And Mez looks at the bed, and of course there's blood on it. She just gave freaking birth, and he looks at me, freaked out, looks at the nurse and goes, "She's bleeding. There's blood on the bed." No. And the nurse goes, "She's gonna be bleeding for the next 8 weeks, sir." and he looked at me and then looked at the nurse, and I swear he went to say, "You motherfucking bitch." Like, he looked like, oh, I didn't know. Like, okay. It was so innocent. Funny. But like, just to see how he, and then he
said, "Help her."
Yeah, he was like, "She's bleeding still." And I think he thought like after the baby came out, everything was just gonna magically stop.
Oh man.
The placenta freaked him out too. He was like, "What? Wait."
And then we just left it in the room.
He was like, "Is anybody gonna come get this?" Like, it's starting to scare me.
No, he told me after KyleLynn gave birth that he did his own research, and he said that everything that he researched and knew coming in was nothing like being in there. He said all these terms, all these words, the blood, the placenta just hanging out with us. He's like, nothing prepared me for this.
So he did do research before going in.
Oh, he watched videos.
Oh,
He
was excited.
Yeah,
I like that.
yeah. He definitely, I think tried.
He was like,
did.
yeah, he tried.
Yeah.
He was like, let me see what I'm about to get myself
to the best of his knowledge.
Right.
I think one thing about him is that he has a lot of pride, and he doesn't ever want to come off like he doesn't know something or know the answer. And it's not in like an arrogant way. I don't take it that way. So I think he really did do his research so that if someone said something, he knew.
He didn't look.
Right.
Like
he
not
knew
knowing.
what they were talking about.
I also gave him my terms. I was like, if you're going to be in the room, like, this is what I would like to happen. Just so that it's...
So he knew your plan.
Yeah. Just so that you know what's going on, and so that I know that you're not just there to just be there, but you're there to like engage, participate, you know, have a clue or a sense of an idea of what the hell is going on. Because it's a lot. Mm-hmm. It's a lot. You see a lot. There's a lot of emotions, you know. There's pain involved.
What's going on?
Then there's like this really heightened sense of like pleasure, and it's like, it was a lot. So
It's like your adrenaline.
Yeah.
But then there's a crash.
Yeah. So it was nice. Once we got in the room, adjusting was fine. He helped me get up a few times to go to the bathroom just because my right leg was still being
Coming off of that is
ridiculous.
Not a joke.
No, it isn't.
I remember feeling real crazy after my stomach was like,
I kept
you scratch my legs.
Oh, I kept rubbing it.
Robert was like, babe, just scratch it for me. He'd be like this. I was like,
"Don't
nah.
scratch it." I was scared to scratch it.
my leg.
No, I was scared to scratch because like if I was gonna scratch too hard and like I'll bruise my skin that way, or like I'll scratch like real scratches into my skin. So I just kept I kept like rubbing it, thinking that like I'm just gonna rub it out. I'm gonna rub it out. And he was like, "Are you okay?" But it was fine. Like we watched TV, we chilled, we watched a movie on the computer together. He got food for us. Like the baby was real chill. He latched on right away.
Oh yeah, he knows where the boob's at.
Yeah, he latched on right away. There you go. Yeah.
As soon as Shanan said that, I swear to God, he just turned and opened his eyes and looked at my titty.
He said, "There it is, right there."
There's a boob right here.
He said, "He just."
All right, friend, you can't have mine.
Yeah.
So back to my question: how has recovery been? How was it having Mez here for 2 weeks? Spill the real tea.
This was the first time Mezier has been out here in LA more than like 3 or 4 days. So I was happy that he came. He really helped with Boz in terms of getting Boz to and from school. He was excited to play with the other kids, aka Ryder and Parker. Like he really wanted to be involved in that sense. So he was here like 2 days before I gave birth. So it was like a nice little breather. It was nice to have extra help with Boz. Once we got home, it was like everything that we talked about like went out the window for a second. And like in terms of like help.
As far as help with Zaire or
with the baby.
Boz?
With the baby. So it's like I think part of my birth looked a little easy, and he didn't really understand that like you know, my shit's all jacked up still. And like I shouldn't be getting up and down. Like he was still looking to me to like feed him, and, like get him food. When I feel like, help me get some food.
Yeah.
So like I made a grocery store list, and he went and got everything on the list, and I was like, okay, cool. So like, will you help? Like, let's do this together. Like, help me do this. This man looked at me and said, that is not my role. So nothing got cooked.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not good.
No.
I didn't know that happened.
Oh yeah, I was frustrated. So like it was like I had like moments of frustration like that. So like I would say,
were
like,
you guys
maybe...
were you able to vocalize to him what you wanted when you came home from
and
the
we're
hospital?
not falling into gender roles.
Right.
No, how about not even that, but like go get some food, man.
No, how about you just went to the store? I just had
Go
a
get
baby.
food.
Make
Let's
me
cook.
dinner.
Yeah, let's.
No, not me cook. You cook and
right.
then feed me.
Did not happen.
I'm sorry.
So did it get better with time?
No, it never got better.
Oh.
Like he would be like, oh,
She said, no.
no.
Shannon, are you going to drink that wine?
Yeah,
Because
and
this
I
story just got deep.
Like he'll go pick food up, but I'm like, I don't want to eat out. Like I want to eat something from home, like a home cooked meal. And on top of that, we had like a shit crazy week with filming.
Does he know how to cook?
He's never made anything.
No.
That's not his role.
So he doesn't cook when he's at home by himself? No. Okay.
So does he eat out every day?
I think so.
Or does he go to
he
his
doesn't eat out.
mom's?
He'll pick up food from his mom's house.
Well then,
Or he'll like
so
order
he's been
like
spoiled.
I'm going to need him to grow up.
literally grow up. So when people are like, "Oh, he seems chill," like, I wish you guys would work it out. No, there's nothing to work out. This man won't feed me while I just gave birth to his child.
Y'all,
and wait,
y'all in those
wait.
comments in the last
Let
episode.
me tell you this one story when it was like my final straw, because I had to text my family at this point.
I just got to get
Cheyenne just got stressed.
I just got so stressed. I just got hot.
Aw. I'm going to tell you this story, Shanan, because Cheyenne was a part of it. But Cheyenne's going to go get more wine because she's itching. The walk away was so real. There was one morning when, and this may be like, Cheyenne, was that like day 2 or day 3 of me being home?
I think so. I remember you telling me that. Did it have
to do with a sandwich?
Yes.
So I was getting Boz ready for school, aka making his lunch and making breakfast for him. And
the man wanted a sandwich too.
Yeah, so there was like a peanut, like the Crustables box, and he thought maybe I like took them out of the box, and I was like, oh no, there's no more left. And then I was like, do you want a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? And he said, he had the nerve to say, yeah, I'll take one. And I was like, cool. I said, cool, I'll pull the items out for you so you can make it. He walked into the other room and like turned the TV on to watch like sports highlights, because he was really sad because he hadn't been able to watch like sports.
I remember he expressed that to both of us.
Yeah, because I'd be like, oh no, this isn't sports time. Like it's time to get Boz together. Like go get him in the bath, go put him in bed. Right. Like have a taste of my schedule. Like I don't get to go out. I don't get to watch TV shows. I don't get to catch up on stuff that I want because I'm having to be an active parent every day. So he was pouting because he couldn't watch his basketball stuff, and he was like, well, it's 7:30. I said, exactly, it's time to start getting him ready for bed.
Back to the...
Oh, wait, so that was the night before.
You're skipping...
So the next morning, he's like, I'll take one of those sandwich things. Yes. He thought he was about to go get his sports highlights. Mm-hmm. So I bring Boz his breakfast and everything. He comes back and then I go back in there. I said, oh, I pulled everything out so you can make a sandwich. And then he looked at me and with dead ass was like, oh, I don't want it anymore. So I was like, okay.
I remember you telling me
I literally
this.
just had to had to walk into the kitchen and breathe. One thing about me, like my temper can go from like 0 to 100 really fast. And something that I've been working on in the last year is just like walk away, breathe it out, and like don't be, reactive, but like learn how to actually respond in a mature adult way. So I went in the kitchen. I was just breathing. And then I walked back into the room where he was. And I was like, okay, so do you not want this sandwich? Like, for a while, I just wouldn't say anything at all. I would just put the stuff away. But at this point in my life, like, I'm speaking up. I'm like being
why
vocal.
don't you want a sandwich no more?
So I was like, do you not want the sandwich because you have to make it or what? He was like, no, I just don't want it anymore. So I was like, so it's okay for me, who just had a baby, who should be sitting down and resting right now,
not doing shit,
to make you a sandwich. However, you won't make the sandwich for yourself.
You guys, this woman.
And I literally just had to walk away because I was so close to blowing like a gasket. Like, I was at that point, I was just like, you know what? I have no signs of postpartum, but if you stay here and this is the pattern, like, you will push me into a state of like depression, just because it's like you're dead weight. And that was like a really frustrating feeling, because it was like we just had this beautiful experience together, but you know, I can't get a meal. But
you guys were he was able to talk it out with people. And were you guys, you did say that you guys were going to go to therapy. That
I put in a group chat what happened with my mom, my dad, and Cheyenne. Then, you know, of course, my mom and Cheyenne are calling me. Zach's in the background, and Zach's all like, oh no. Like, oh no. So Zach suggested that after he dropped Boz off at school, that he come to the house and, like, you know, they have like a dad to dad talk. I don't know what they talked about. I haven't asked. I was just like, let me
take him back,
just watch and learn and see if anything happened. Baby's just getting passed along. This is the village, y'all, of baby love. So Zach and Messier talked. I don't know if you talked to him too, Cheyenne.
Messier and Cheyenne talked.
Oh, okay, so Cheyenne and Messier talked.
Yes.
Yes. So
Zach tried to talk to him, and he said it wasn't getting anywhere.
Yeah.
So I talked to him, and I think it kind of got somewhere.
I don't know.
Had a lot of talks. I know
there's always a talk, but that night, that's when the night where he made our plates. He made our plates. We had my mom
I was
made
over
tacos,
that day,
and he made our plates.
He made our plates so quick.
Yeah. Oh, you want some? Oh,
that was right after he left here.
Yeah.
That was the day we made the podcast.
He was good for a couple hours, and then the next day, you know.
Well, he didn't. They go to Disneyland the next day.
Well, then the day after that, it was back to. Yeah.
You know, so the thing with him, I do feel like he listens.
You just have to tell him.
But you just have to tell him. And I think that sometimes when he hears it from you, he takes it really negatively and almost like nagging, to where if you say it, not necessarily you say it, but if someone else comes to him with it in a different way, in a different delivery, then I do think that he understands. But it's also that weird line of like, okay, I know you understand what I'm saying, but I just don't think you want to do it.
Yeah, he doesn't want to, in my opinion, because it's like I vocalized it, and it was like I would ask questions, and I've had to learn how to like say things to him without asking, if that makes sense. Just because it's like, if I were to be like, hey, can you do this? Like, there's times where it's like, I feel like he intentionally will not do it just because I brought it up or I asked, if that makes sense. Well, no, it actually doesn't make any sense at all. But it's just, you know, it isn't always an uphill journey, battle, challenge with him.
Well, I will say this, that you're glowing either way.
Oh yeah, I feel like I've had no other option but to like
to glow
and stay on my path.
It's I don't feel like it's either way, because you cannot literally, you guys, every time I see Kyle, when I come over, she's literally glowing, and it's not because of Mez, it's not because of any of that. It's her. She's worked on her internal self during this pregnancy and after, and it shows, and it's so beautiful to witness it, because when she speaks about her growth and her journey, it's nothing to play with, and it's so beautiful, and it's to see it as a friend and to witness it and how she is with her kids and just dealing with stuff day to day. it's so powerful, and I'm really proud of you.
I feel like it's the only thing in life that I like, not the only thing, but one of the only things in life that I really take seriously.
No, and
What?
it's amazing.
Motherhood.
Motherhood
and
but
your
just like
self-love.
my internal like
Yeah.
It's
feel
self-love
good,
because you
love
can
myself.
I remember one day I came over, I think we were filming, and you were literally just glistening. I'm proud of you.
Thank you, Shannon.
Even though
appreciate
you've
it.
had rough times with Mez here, and it was
It's okay.
interesting.
By the end of the week, he'd be like, there'd be times where he'd be looking at me for food, and and that's the other thing. He doesn't eat meat, so it's like, say if we cooked at the house, we would have to cook something specifically like different for him because we didn't make fish every night, like, So he eats fish. So it's like, imagine being in a house full of carnivores and you are vegan and you can't eat
You're
the
not very
stuff.
nice to the cooks.
You're not very nice to the cooks, and you're still looking for food. When it's like, you as a grown man, you can go, we're like, here are the pots, here are the plates, here's this, here's that. Like, we are very chill, like, jump in where you can get in,
Yeah.
But by the end of the week, he'd be looking at me trying to be like, oh, are you hungry? I'd be like, oh, I ate.
I love it.
I ate already.
Yeah,
So
I got to be with the baby daddies during Halloween.
Oh yeah, Shannon. Oh, that was the one thing that was really nice.
I was the only mom.
Shannon.
I was with the baby daddies.
By the baby daddy, she was
Literally,
with Messier and Corey.
I was with
and
the
all
baby
the kids.
Yeah, Corey, this year was my first time ever not having Ryder on the holiday. It was very
it was fun,
odd.
you guys.
It was very sad. I could not stop texting Shannon and trying to get like, can you send me pictures?
I was
It
getting
just
all
felt
the tea
weird as
for
a
them.
mom. It felt so weird as a mother to not have my child on
It
the
was
holiday.
weird not having you two with me.
No, it's weird having to ask someone else about your kid. To me, that is a very foreign, odd feeling. And I'm like, I'm like, how does Messier do this? Like, how are you so okay with like having to ask someone else, like, hey, how is my kid doing right now? Or what is my kid up to?
But it was really cool watching to get to see the other side, because I don't think I would have ever experienced that before.
Yeah.
It was cool to see
without like us there.
Yeah, without you guys there, because I've never
actually
experienced Corey and Taylor just with Ryder and Mila. So that was interesting for me to see. And I was
we might have to do a whole other podcast.
At some points, I felt like a spy. I was like, dun, 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 dun.
Are you being nice?
I literally felt like that. And I was looking at Mez like, hey, Mez. Dun, 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 dun.
I literally text Shannon like, is my kid okay? Is my kid happy? Are they being nice to my kid? And then afterwards, I had to think like, okay, she goes to her dad's every weekend. Like, cool, stop.
And comes back smiling.
Stop it.
But it was interesting. Like, because you don't get that side. You don't get to ask Corey, like, are you nice to her? Are you doing? Are you doing?
Of course,
So
I asked
got to
Ryder.
see, but it was very nice. It was very nice to see like how loving and accommodating like Corey was with me in Park, and like just seeing that whole other side and seeing Mez without Kyle.
Yeah, when we say blended family, we blend in everywhere.
Blended family, and I was that friend with the blended family. I was like, yes.
And Shannon was all dressed up.
Hello, you guys. But it was really cool. It was really cool to see Mez with Boz, and he was so excited. He was so excited.
Do you guys want to know something? That was Messier's first time trick-or-treating.
And it was like the best experience because he was
Cheyenne's
in a rich
face right now.
neighborhood. He was in a rich neighborhood. So literally this one lady gave us all shots while we were trick-or-treating.
Like alcohol shots?
Yes. She was like, come on, my house.
Did you guys, was there the house where the lady was giving pizzas away or giving pizzas out for the kids?
This is another lady. She was like, you guys, I used to be a bartender. What's your shots? Shots. And me and Corey and Mez were like, okay.
Do we do this or no?
So it was really cool. But yeah, to see that aspect too.
You know, I'm happy that you were able to go over there, feel comfortable, experience
it was
Halloween together. And I'm happy that Corey acknowledges that, Ryder has friends and family that come from our side.
Very nice. Yeah.
But there's never like a line drawn in the sand.
Yeah.
Like, well, no, she can't hang out with Parker for Halloween because that's Shannon's son and that's your
I
side
think
of the family. You know what I mean?
it was very it wasn't like awkward.
Corey was also happy to have people around, like, because we have to remember him and Taylor don't have family out here, so it's like, we get to enjoy having the kids together, and I know they don't always get to enjoy watching.
Because
like,
you guys,
Mila and Ryder.
I was feeling real lost when Cheyenne told me that Ryder was about to be with Corey. I was like, well, what am I supposed to do? What? Halloween?
Yeah, Shanan was. So I put Shanan and Messier in a group text, and Shanan was talking about, well, what do you want to do, Messier? And Messier was like, does she know I'm not from out here? Like, does she know? I don't know.
I guess we're going to Corey's house.
At one point, he said, yeah, I don't have any friends with kids out here. I was like, oh, this is funny.
I mean, it makes me happy as Ryder's mom that
Ryder can bring all these people together.
Bring,
all her little cousins
all
together.
her cousins together, and that it can happen without me being there. Like, and I had a few people, because I had expressed on Twitter that this was my first holiday without Ryder, but it was also Ace's first Halloween, and I just felt, I felt weird. Like, I don't know, I was kind of sad that day in all transparency, but then I was also like, oh, try not to be sad. But it's a weird feeling when you don't have your child and you always have your child. Like, I always have Rye for everything. So it just felt a little awkward for me. But I had expressed that and people were like, well, why didn't you and Zach and Ace go over there? And it's like, we have two separate households. And of course, we're able to come together and do things, and there's no tension, there's nothing like that. But we also acknowledge that we have two separate households, and we like to do things as two separate households. Right. And I want Ryder to know that she can do things with her dad's family without me and Zach being there, and she can still have Boz around or still have Parker around, and that's okay. The same way that if Ryder had some cousins come out here from his side and they wanted to come over and hang out, they can do that without him having to be here. Like, we still have to function as two separate families because we are two separate families. Of course, there'll be things that we can all come together and do, but we don't have to do everything together. And Ryder needs to see the way that functions. And I just have to get over it. Like, that's all that comes down to.
And that was Kyle's first. She just had first that year, and
I was sad because I wasn't home to get Boz ready for school that day, which on Friday I was still at the hospital, and they did something at school for Halloween. So he dressed up, he went to school. They had like a little school thing, and
you were home.
I got home that night.
Yeah,
I got home Friday night.
Mom sent you a picture of Boz, and Corey sent me a picture of Ryder. And we were looking at each other.
I was sad at the hospital, and like Messier was sad too. He was like, man, I'm here and I'm still missing stuff. And I was like, nah, bro, we just had a whole baby. You're not missing anything.
We're fine. This is how it works.
This is it. Like, sometimes you got to pick and choose. We're here.
Yeah, he kept saying that. Like, so where's Boz? Boz can't come here. I'm like, no.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, and I can't go see him. I'm like, no.
He was so confused why Boz could not come to the hospital. Yeah. I was like, I'm sorry, COVID.
So I know that this is off subject.
It's okay.
But when is there a conversation for the next time Messier is coming back?
Yes. So Boz's birthday is actually in a couple weeks.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Boz's birthday is December 8th.
So he's coming back.
He'll be back for Boz's birthday. And the nice thing is, on Boz's birthday, he has his 3-year doctor checkup, and Zaire has his
that's perfect
2-month checkup.
So he's able to come.
So he's able and come to all the appointments.
Good.
That's perfect timing.
Yeah. How long is he thinking about staying?
Who knows?
So is that just up in the air?
I give it like 3 or 4 days.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
We haven't talked about it.
Did you like my little comment during in our group chat?
Which one?
When he
What'd you say, Shannon?
I thought it was so funny.
What did you say, Shannon?
Because we were talking about, where are we going when we were going to Corey's house? And we're like, we're going to the Calabasas. And he was like, oh, yeah, I want to check out Calabasas. I said, yes, you can find your future home.
Oh, yeah.
I thought That was so funny.
There were a few times where he was like asking.
I was like, yeah, bro. Go find your
prices.
Yeah, he asked Zach about the build that we were doing.
And I was like, this is not the side of town. Like, I don't think people realize how expensive LA is until they're out here. And it's like
California.
California in general. And like DC, like, has
I was about to say, isn't DC a little pricey
area?
too?
Yeah, but it's California is just a little different.
It's way different.
It's different.
Was that it, babe? It's juice boxes and stuff.
Yeah, it was like, you know, he was asking questions, but you never really know how far it's going.
Well, overall, I mean, from the outside perspective, I think that you had a beautiful birth.
Yeah.
I sobbed like a baby, but I cried.
Oh wait,
all
Shanan,
the time.
you asked earlier. So yes, I did schedule therapy sessions for us, but then I canceled it because I was like, let me just let this man enjoy this last few days, and then
Are you gonna bring him back? The therapy sessions?
yes. Because I do want to
do it in person.
I do want to. I'm going to talk to my therapist first and then see what she has to say. Because I do want to communicate with him like how I felt during that time.
Yeah.
Just so that he's aware.
And so you don't hold on to it.
And and that's another thing. And that's why I've come to y'all. Like,
and I'm happy you've expressed it.
Girl, you just expected to the Think Loud crew too.
Thank you, Think Loud crew.
Y'all know the tea now. People are gonna be like, I'm gonna send this to Messier.
Right. It's not
Okay.
They do know his Instagram now.
I hope you listen to this one, brother.
So I'm expressing and sharing these things out of like a loving state, I would say, not to be like nasty or ugly or be like, shame on you, Messier, but just like,
girl, this is your place to vent without any judgment.
I am sharing with no judgment, but it's like, you know, when someone around you has a child, like, offer or just do, because even if we have short labors and we only push for 4 pushes,
that was a lot.
It's still, I think sometimes people forget, and I was reminded when Cheyenne was going through her postpartum experience that, you know, it takes 9-10 months for us to grow these little humans, and when we get them out, it's a very traumatizing
9 to 10 months that
experience for your body, and then it's 9 to 10 months to heal. I think we've had a really good talk. I feel better about sharing this because, you know,
well, I'm happy that you were comfortable enough to share it, not only with us, but with our
community,
the rest of our crew. And I just want to put out really fast that when we have these talks, anything that we're talking about, we are doing it in a very safe space, like in a very safe zone. Place. And it's not ever to be taken out of context or taken and then used to cause problems or fights or battles or anything like that. And lately, I feel like I've been being more in tune with some of our comments that we're getting, some of the DMs. And I just need to remind you guys why we started this podcast was to create a safe space for us to be able to express and talk. So let's stop with like some of the negativity.
Because we've had a lot, and I was about to pop off.
Yes. The negativity is not necessary. This was not why we wanted to create this podcast. And of course, we're always going to get negativity. But I'm just letting you guys know right now that we're just not going to allow it. Yeah. So
I'll block you.
We're just going to block you, or we're going to pop up, depending on who you get that day.
Yeah. Because yesterday, I feel like we got a lot of negative comments. And I personally, I know these two pop off for each other. I pop off for them too. So I saw a lot of negative.
What was yesterday?
Yesterday there was some negative comments.
Yeah, I deleted some.
I
but what was out yesterday?
The dad's
it was
post.
The dad post and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but
even with like the dad post. Me commenting and tagging Zach and DJ and putting fire flames was because Zach and DJ were in the picture and they got motherfucking fire flames. Now, I don't need a bunch of people telling me I'm a terrible person because I didn't tag Corey, and does that mean he's a bad dad and all that stuff. Let's get this straight. I don't need to tag Corey in a post to tell him that he's a good dad.
And then there doesn't need to be any other comments. But
like it's too much.
We are here to talk, and we started off a safe place. we literally share our deepest with each other. We're very open with you guys, and we love to be open with you guys, and we want to continue to be that. But just remember why we started this. We are 3 moms, and we're being beyond real. So we want to continue to do that with you guys, and we love sharing our hearts with you guys
and feel good about it.
And we feel so comfortable. We love doing this. And
also, I know I say things about my baby daddy, but I need people to stop coming from him, because we talk every day. People act like he is just like non-existent.
Oh no, he's around. He's just annoying.
He's been texting me during this podcast.
Not around.
So like, I know a lot of people assume that like just because we don't live in the same house or the same state that he's not involved, but he is very much involved.
I'm not a type of person to express properly when I'm overwhelmed or when I need help, and I've learned that about myself. Shut up, Kyle. And I'm sure my sister, my mom, or Zach can tell you that when I do get to those points, I boil over and it's just not a pretty scene. I am now learning to express, and I'm trying to do it the correct ways of I need help and I'm overwhelmed. And I do think that recently I've like been taking the steps to have a better peace of mind, to acknowledge that I work from home and I have 2 kids. And for me to actually get things done, I need more help. I don't put my kids in daycare and stuff like that. So like with Ace. So Zach and I started going on like a nanny search, and I didn't want like anybody to know that we were getting a nanny, because, you know, I didn't feel like hearing you guys yell at me about why do I need a nanny? We were at home, blah, blah, blah. But
you don't work.
Yes. But
Cheyenne works a lot, y'all.
Works like a crazy lady.
I work like a crazy person, and I'm constantly getting like supported and then like ridiculed at the same time from my family that I work too much and I overextend myself, and it's too much. So I'm only saying all of this.
We don't know how to stop.
To say that it's okay to acknowledge that you need help. And it's also okay to get the help that you need.
Yes.
And for the past few days, we have had a nanny. And when I tell you, I feel like I can breathe.
Good.
Like, but just breathe. Nothing else yet. But the first day that she was here,
you're still in shock.
I was in shock. No, deadass, I was in shock. And I was texting mom, and she, like, we went over my list of things that I need to get done. And there was like 10 things from her, and then my manager sent me like another 5 things, and then I had things to do with the podcast, and I had things to do, and then I was not even talking about like teen mom stuff. And I've been filming so much like a crazy person lately, and not like quick scenes, like 10-hour days, and I've just been so drained mentally and like physically, emotionally. And the nanny got here, and I had these like list to do for everyone, and I sat down on the couch and I never got up and I did not do anything, and it felt so freaking good.
Aww,
like it felt so good just to sit and be still. And I text my mom and I'm like, I got nothing done, and she said, be still.
Good.
And I literally sat here and cried, and I think the nanny saw me. And she probably thinks I'm a little weird, but
or it was just like, oh,
she needed this moment. Oh no, I told her. I think it was like maybe after the 3 days that she's been here, and I said, "Hey, that first day you were here," because Ryder had a cough, so we kept Ryder home from school, and
you guys look so.
She said, "I'm gonna take Ryder outside and let her breathe some fresh air. I'm gonna take Ace outside. We're gonna put a blanket out there, and we're gonna have a picnic." And I sat in the house and I just cried, because it just felt so good just to have
not have no kids.
I had a second to breathe. I had a long list of shit to get done, and I didn't do any of it. And I was so happy with myself. And I explained, like, I didn't mean to cry. Like, I'm really sorry, but I'm overworked, and I feel like sometimes I make myself.
And you needed that, yeah.
Yeah, and she just hugged me, and I felt really good, and we hired her the next day. So I am very proud to say.
Yet.
No, she was in trials. Yeah, I know. She probably thought this baby's weird.
But she came into trials at like one of the busiest weeks that we've had in the last,
in probably
the last few months.
Yeah. So yeah, I say that all to say that we have hired a nanny. Her name is Isabel, and I love her, and I just met her. But when I tell you, if she could live here,
She was very sweet.
Yeah. I
met her today.
I'm so happy, and I feel like I'm finally getting to the place where I'm able to breathe and get back to me.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah.
We like her a lot. I like her too. I'm actually she's gonna help with Zaire on Sunday so that I can attend Remy's wedding.
Yeah.
What is yours?
Oh, I have a WTF. So last night was the first night since Messier has been gone.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I was a little nervous because it's just me and the boys now.
Mm-hmm.
And Boz was acting out just because, you know, every time his dad leaves, it's those first few days we have to kind of get back into our routine. And it's just that shock of that, oh, my dad is gone. So Boz was doing all this funny stuff. I started talking to Boz and I was like, Boz, you know, how are you feeling? Like, are you okay? So then I was like, okay, let me talk to him. Like, let me figure out what's going on. And I already knew what was going on. So I was like letting him know, like, it's okay to share your feelings with me. I said, are you feeling mad? Like, I went through all these like list of emotions. I knew he was feeling sad, but I wasn't trying to just go straight head on. So when I got to the feeling sad, he was like, yeah, I feel sad. And I was like, you want to talk about it? Like, and he was like, I'm just sad because my daddy's not here. And I was letting him know, like, it's okay to feel sad. And like, I said, do you want to, you know, we had this whole little conversation. And at the same time, I texted Cheyenne and my mom, like, you know, the kids are, I think Boz was giving me hell. And Cheyenne was like, you know, it's probably.
You said something like, Boz told me he didn't love me.
Oh, yeah.
And
that I told him it hurt my feelings.
I told him it hurt my feelings, and now he's on the other side of the bed crying.
And he said, I don't care.
Yeah, and when I first read it, I was, you know, my immediate thought is put that little boy on timeout and walk away. But then I was like, oh no, his dad left today. I said, Kyle, give him extra love. Like hold him.
Hold him.
Go get him. I got Boz from the other side of the bed, and I was like, come on, Papa, let's talk. So we talked. He let me know how he's feeling, and then I was like, do you want to call your dad? Like, you know, you could call your dad. And I said, if you want, you can tell your dad how you're feeling, or you can just call him to say hi and make sure, you know, just talk to him. So we called his dad. Man, when I tell you, this little boy instantly lit up, and they were singing songs together, and they started doing the opposites. And it was so cute because Boz was sitting there going up, down, left, right, front, back. That's the opposite. So he was like singing these little songs that his dad would sing with him. And it just instantly put him in a better mood. And once we got off the phone, Boz was like, okay, Mommy, let's go to sleep now. So it was like, that was, you know, he just needed to talk to his dad. But at one point, when Boz was crying, Zaire was asleep, but then he started crying because Boz was crying. And then I was sitting there with two crying babies, and I was just waiting for my tears to, like, you know, combust out of my face all of a sudden.
Me every night.
And like at one point I was like, oh my God, am I going to start crying just because you guys are crying? And like my hormones are still like weird right now. And it was our first night together. And all I could think about is my parents are out of town today. And all I could think about was the next night. And I was like, oh my God, what's going to happen the next day? I'm going to be alone. Like there'll be other, you know, my grandma's here, but I was like, oh my gosh, like what am I going to do? So that was my WTF, but it worked out.
Kyle, I am always available.
I know.
To take either one.
Yeah.
All right.
But I know I got you.
I'm always here.
Me too.
You can always bring Zaire or Boz over, but especially Zaire because this man's sleeping all day. I could take him anytime.
Oh, and I'm really excited because I did the school pickups today, and Zaire was here with Cheyenne.
I took the young pack. She got the old pack.
And I'm happy because I've been producing so much milk, and like he drinks, but then I'm still like, oh my God, my tits are, you know, huge over here and heavy.
They hurt.
So I've actually like pumped a few times, and he took a bottle today with his
He took it
aunt.
so well. I was so proud of him.
Oh.
Yeah.
And he like he go.
I didn't know. I don't know how I feel about it.
No, it made me feel good because
I
like
get
the
to have
rest
a little
of
freedom.
like the rest of this week, Ryder's gone because we're doing. Our schedule's all funky right now because I wanted Ryder this weekend. So her dad's picking her up from school tomorrow, and I still have Isabel for the rest of the week. So I'm like, hey, Zaire can come in and hang out because, girl, I got help here.
Bro,
We're chilling now.
Kids.
Right. So
well, I need to go pick some things up tomorrow.
no, and I feel so much better being able to say like I can help.
Yeah.
Because I feel like people are
'Cause you don't
always
have all
helping
that,
us, but
yeah.
I don't have all that like not stress, but like pressure.
Yeah.
Shannon, what you got for us?
I got a lot for y'all, but I'll pick one. Last week on Friday, I thought it was the best idea. This is my WTF. I thought it was the best idea to pick up Parker early from school, and I had a short work day, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna have a self-care with me and Parker for both of us to just get back to our bonding. Because I feel like I've been really off balance. I've been feeling really sad and just not myself. So I'm like, oh, let me go do something that I really love to do. So I'm like, okay, we're gonna pick up Parker early and we're going to go to the beach and roller skate. First,
That sounds like fun.
it sounded like the best idea. So Parker was all excited. He got picked up from school telling all his friends, I'm going to the beach. I'm going to the beach. Da-da-da-da. Like he was so excited. Got to the freaking beach. Parker wants to start crying. Mom, I don't want to go to the beach. I don't want to. I'm like, I want to go back to Pasadena. When are we going back to Pasadena? I
Why?
said we're not going back to fucking
What
Pasadena.
happened? Oh my God.
I didn't say that, but that's how I
why?
felt.
Why was the
I don't
What
know.
changed?
I had just a switch literally right when I pulled up and I was feeling like, okay, this is my zen time. I get to rollerblade with him.
Girl, you were too happy for the moment.
I was too happy for my self-care with Parker. I was so mad. I text my mom, I was like, this is the worst idea ever. I was like, I should have left him at school.
did you leave or did you what
Do you
did
think I left? I kept telling Parker, I said, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to the beach. You're about to put on some rollerblades and rollerblade with mommy.
Even if I have to drag you.
I did. The whole freaking time. The whole time we were rollerblading. Literally, you guys, sobbing. Mom, I don't want to rollerblade.
Yo,
Are his rollerblades like the one that go in a single file or is it like 4?
It's 4. So I had my roller skates on. I was so excited, you guys.
She probably looked hella cute too. She
I
probably
was
had a whole
so
outfit on.
happy. Even a little 19-year-old hit on me as Parker was my brother. I said, nah, this is my son.
Hey Shannon, next time you in a Zen day, come get me. Okay, come get me.
Oh my God. So you guys, I really tried. So we went to Santa Monica. So I was like, oh, Parker, it'll be really fun for us to learn how to rollerblade. It's a smooth ride. It's not hard.
Yeah.
And it is literally just tears coming down. We rode to the boardwalk back crying. And then I'm like, okay, I still want to get my Zen moment.
Right.
So I rented a bike. Well, you know
So
what?
you rented what?
So I tried. I'm like, because Parker the whole time, mommy, I want to just go back to Pasadena. I want to go back to school. I don't like that I had to leave school early.
Oh my God, that's Ryder.
So I'm like, boy, I said, okay. So then I was getting pissed off. I'm like, I'm never gonna surprise you again. I'm never gonna take you out early. So then, mom, I'm not. So just the whole thing. So then I rented a bike. We did a bike ride. I was able to get my fresh air and breathe in and meditate in my head while Parker was in the back of me enjoying his little ride while I was pumping my legs.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was my WTF moment. I tried to have a Zen moment when it just didn't work out. It kind of did, because then
Did it ever turn around?
Kind of, until we went to the freaking museum and saw fucking.
Oh my God, I can't even. Let's not even. That'll be another day. And another day, we will explain what happened at the museum.
But yeah, so then he only got happy once he got to do that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Because I was like, okay, just let mommy have like her beach day. Like I just wanted to feel like. It was nice. It was cold. It was just beachy, and I just needed that air. But
yeah,
he wouldn't let me live.
Yeah, and my kid never lets me live.
But yeah, so that was my WTF.
I feel like we needed this talk more than you guys probably needed to hear this.
To hear us.
But I feel like we needed it. And yeah, I'm just gonna say that.
I'm happy we enjoy each other.
Yeah, I
Yes.
do too.
It's a good thing.
Yeah, but our kids are looking at us like, if y'all don't put us to sleep because we got school in the morning, so we are gonna end this podcast, guys. And I just want to say that I appreciate you guys so much. When we started this, I'm gonna speak for the group. I don't think that we thought it would turn into what it has so quickly.
Not at all.
Yes.
Not at all.
We thought we were gonna be recording for
We
a
didn't.
while, but like the
authenticity.
yes,
And our
like the
transparency.
viewers and like our listeners and like the people who I have people who message me are like, girl, I followed you since Are You the One, and I love you so much more on the podcast, and like getting to know your family, getting to know Shanan has been like a real game changer, and I just appreciate that so much. So I just want to say thank you guys for listening, for watching, who have subscribed not only to all of the podcast platforms but to our YouTube, who love all of our babies. We have so many auntie and uncles through the internet, grandmas. I know y'all out there too.
Yes. I see them.
I see y'all. So I just want to say thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Boss, why are you mean mugging us?
Having this platform and doing this with the girls, I never imagined it being it like this.
Yeah.
And it's such a blessing, and
This is really rewarding.
I really enjoy this. Parker loves seeing me on the podcast, and he loves saying like, my mommy has 2 jobs. He's like, no, my mom has 2 jobs and she has a podcast. I really love having this platform and doing it with you guys. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah.
I agree.
So I'm just going to end this off. So you guys don't forget to subscribe on any of your favorite podcast platforms. Don't forget to follow us at the Think Loud Crew on Instagram, and also to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yes, please.
And we're going to sign out after this one. I am Cheyenne, and you can follow me at Shy Not Shy.
And I am Shanan, and you can follow me at Hair by Shanan C.
And my name is R, and you can follow me at KyleLynn.
And here are our kids.
Yes.
Thanks, guys. Have a good week.
Bye, guys.
Ciao.